A shallow review of the Nightreign DLC by someone who kinda finished it. Spoilers. There are none. Well, except for the starter equipment of the new classes, one new bonk and one new stab, and while I do really enjoy the look of these weapons, they aren't exactly anything special. I really expected some of Elden Ring's DLC weapons to make their way into Nightreign, but alas, I did not get my perfumes. However, it should be noted that there is this interview done by Ishisaki where he says that more weapons and equipment will be added in the future, but who knows? For now, that's all out there, in the ether. No weapons out of 10. The DLC added a whole new map that gives you a very different experience compared to base game Limveld. Oh. Well, this is fascinating. It's certainly smaller, but the massive amounts of verticality creates a much more complex maze to navigate. Even 10 runs in, I kept jumping to my death.
Which one? Main castle?
Oh yeah, the other one that I tried to go to the...
Oh. Wait, where are we going? Am I going the right way? Oh, you're going the other way.
I'm going the other way.
Standard Limveld is very much a novice level map, while the Crystal Hollow is what I expect an expert level map would look like. And that's a good thing, by the way, since learning this map will add a fair amount of extra life to the game. Furthermore, the DLC also adds new points of interest on the base game Limveld map and some new events that gives new bonuses. For example, Sleepy Dragon Winter and Hot Doggo Summer. I really like the additional points of interest on the map as it gives us way more variety in an already stale map. But I really, and I have to underline this, I really dislike that these new areas are only accessible through the 2 new Night Lords. I understand that you can't give away free stuff to people who don't want to buy the DLC, but it feels rather limiting to me. What if I want to do a full go run? Will I simply not be able to visit these places? I hope they change that. Even so, 8 out of 10 on the maps. FromSoft are basically the Mozart of boss battles, and the developer did not disappoint this time. The 2 new Night Lords are not only really good in their own right, but it complements the preceding Night Lords very nicely. One of them is like a little corpse ball of chaos, and the other is 7 sexy angels that need to be put down for some reason. Are we the bad guys here? I hope so. The Angels are a gank boss. Now I know some gamers despise those more than a slice of moldy loaf, but the levels of aggression from the different Angels are low enough that the multiple foes won't overwhelm you, well, at least with a little bit of training. Then we have the Dreglord himself. The meatball with legs is kinda like if Fulgor and Gale from Dark Souls 3 had a baby that was stillborn but somehow still alive. That's probably the weirdest sentence I have ever spoken out loud. He may seem a bit all over the place at first, but after a run or two you'll dance around most of his moves like my dad dodging my hugs. If anything, the end boss might be a little too easy. Still, these are amazing. 9 out of 10 for the Night Lords. We got 3 big new bosses. Well, 2.5. Artorias is back, and he will skewer you if you let him. Some of you would probably like that though, you disgusting From Dark Souls 3, we have the Demon of Pain and the Demon Below representing. Probably the easiest out of the new additions. It really goes to show how much a little bit of movement speed can reduce the difficulty in a game. Then we have Moog making his Nightreign debut, and if you let him, he will rip your ass cheeks apart and shower you in anal blood. They really pumped him full of steroid in this one. He truly is the Lord of Blood here, so give yourself a better chance at survival, look for Libra, and buy the Nihil Flask for 2000 runes. It is a bargain here. There are a bunch of other new enemies taken from the Shadow of the Earth 3 DLC, like the actual Golden Hippo and the Vine Dancing Lion and other guys, and they're fine. Look, they complement the new map well, but I wish they were weaved more thoroughly into the base game Limveld also. 8 out of 10. They did not remove the trolls from the castle in Limveld. 0 out of 10. One is a hyper-aggressive nun whose sole mission in life is to crack open the skulls of her enemies and intermittently envelop them with questionable tentacles. The other is a thoughtful nerd who feels that bringing a monocle into combat is entirely acceptable. That thing must be glued on. Undertaker allows you to play with wild abandon, as her skills make you tougher, do more damage, and gives you a better dodge. The ultimate is very spammable, as every time an ally uses their ult, you get one for free, and if you do a perfect dodge, you get your ult for free. Basically, 3 nuns can take out anything by crashing their bodies into it repeatedly. And I love that. I think I saw that scene in Bible. Scholar is more of a slow burn. But once I finally understood his kit, he is incredible in his role as a support. He has the Analyze skill that applies debuffs to enemies, and if you time it right, a full analysis will give you a bubble that when hit will do serious damage to your enemy. The ult lets you tie enemies together so they take shared damage and can be used to very efficiently farm certain areas for runes. It also ties allies together so they can share healing, giving you more survivability. His passives allows him to carry more consumable and even level them up. For example, bombs do more damage and warming stones are warmer. I have yet to make a build around the Wraith Calling Bell, but that seems very promising. 2 completely opposite characters, yet both crafted with the same thought and care. Well done, FromSoft. Well done. 10 out of 10. Final verdict. In the end, my main issue with the DLC is that it's light on content. I would have preferred 2 more Nightfares, or the additional weapon loadouts that you can get in Shadow of the Erdtree of Elden Ring. Just imagine having a perfumer character who was equipped with actual perfumes. I never used perfumes much in Shadow of the Erdtree because I got them so late, and I was never a guy who really played New Game Plus. But in Nightreign, I think it would fit in perfectly, and the crowd control natures of the perfumes I think would fit the roguelike thing even more. You can also add way more different bonuses to the different perfume and the clouds and look. I'll talk about this forever. In the end, the DLC is still pretty good, and it will probably provide me with another 50 if not 100 hours of fresh playtime. 8 out of 10.